What's up everybody, Xaenca here, welcome to another WWE Mayhem video. So in the last video we tackled the 3-star version of the Royal Rumble event, now we are going to tackle the 2-star version of the Royal Rumble event. So let's go ahead and do that. So if we look at the rewards for beginner, we have 500 Royal Rumble keys, 20 gold bars, and a bunch of cash. So I'm surprised that they're doing keys. Let's see if normal has any keys associated with it. Does not, so it gives you a Royal Rumble loot case, 40 gold bars, and a bunch of protein shakes. And if we look at Superstar, a Royal Rumble loot case, 253 star keys, 60 gold bars, and a bunch of protein shakes. So they're leaving you with 500 extra Royal Rumble keys for some reason. So that leads me to believe that they're going to do this kind of more frequently than I imagined they would. They're going to do it probably like the Clash of Champions or SummerSlam events, just sprinkled in here and there in between all of the other events. Because otherwise we're just going to be holding on to 500 Royal Rumble keys for an entire year until the next one. That doesn't make sense, but the rewards still scale pretty well, even though the rewards are lower than the 3 and 4-star version, which is to be expected because this is only the 2-star version, and they're still better than the usual events we get in that we still get 2 Royal Rumble loot cases instead of just keys for all 3 difficulties, so that's good. Anyway, let's do the beginner and normal difficulties off camera. I will see you in a future where that has already happened. Alright, welcome to the future. Superstar difficulty is the only one left to do. So I did get my Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson all the way up to 503 total power. As I get more protein shakes, I'm definitely planning on maxing them out. I would suggest the same to you guys, just to have, not necessarily The Rock, but just get a 2-star maxed out so you have one that can deal with these kind of events. Basically get 1 2-star, 1 3-star, and 1 4-star maxed out just so you have somebody for that purpose. So as you'll see here, the general strategy I use with The Rock is the same strategy I use with John Cena. The 2 attack method works perfectly fine for this. Take advantage of characters like this for these events because you attack so fast. Your iframes are much, you can hit the opponent before he can hit you. If you both go at the same time, he's gonna get hit. So basically you can even just rely on Twitch reaction. Basically you see any kind of movement from him that's not a block, go ahead and swipe, he's gonna get hit. And you'll see as you watch some of these matches that I take advantage of the parry still, just like I did with Big E, just like I did with John Cena. You can't rely on the block too much, especially if you don't have a strong maxed out character like I do with John Cena and like I do with The Rock. If you have something like a Big E that I had to deal with the 4-star event, if you rely on the block to build up your meter, you're going to end up using a lot of healing items, revival items. They're going to tear you apart. Like with my Big E, he had something like 650 power, while I was facing opponents that had like 2,800. And then there comes 2 problems with that. So first problem is, if your opponent is not gonna do any special moves and he just attacks and you rely on block to build up your meter, the damage mitigation from blocking is not that much at that point. You're still getting hit for a lot, so you will basically die. That's why I said in the Big E 4-star event video that, you should parry as much as you can. Stop the opponent from attacking altogether. Like, if you have somebody with a fast attack combo like I do with The Rock and John Cena, you're constantly attacking them is going to prevent them from even beginning their attack. And if they do force you in a position where you have to be defensive, just hit that parry and stop them in their tracks. Because the other problem that comes with relying on the block, and I covered this a little bit in the 4-star event video, is that your opponent starts with a bar or just around a bar, and that is an unblockable attack. So if you're relying on the block and he just does a, swipe and then grabs you, if you're in the same situation as I was with Big E and he's facing opponents much more powerful than him, that move is going to be devastating to your HP, and you will be using a ton of healing items like I already stressed. But I can't stress that point enough. If you don't want to end up using so many healing items, so many revival items, don't rely on the block too much. Rely on parry and rely on stopping your opponent from attacking you to begin with. Now if you do have a strong maxed out character, this is not so much a problem as it is an annoyance, but you'll still end up using some healing items. Probably not so many revival items. But if you can't avoid that anyway, why not just do it, right? So just parry it, like I said. Now that that's out of the way, ever since the Royal Rumble update, I find myself doing a lot less versus mode, especially since they haven't come out with any versus events since the Royal Rumble update. And I've been thinking about it, like even if they had like another payback event, I'm wondering if I would sink as much time into it, just because like the versus loot case is just terrible now. Like I don't know why they made it so terrible. It's not like people spend so much time in versus mode that they need to nerf their rewards or anything like that. It's It's really bad. And in a recent dialogue with Ananda Das in the comment section, I think he was referencing when I was talking about the loot cases in the 4-star video, is that I wish they would show the percentages of what you get out of these loot cases so I could calculate which loot case is the best to sink your time into. I know that Apple is on like a mission to start regulating that kind of business and make it so it's mandatory for game developers to show you what percentages are in loot cases or loot boxes or whatever the hell it is. I don't know if they've implemented that in any way yet. I don't do Apple products. I have an iPad, but I don't play any games on that. I mean, I don't know if they've implemented it in any way yet. And I think it was, I can't think of it off the top of my head which podcast I was listening to, but they were talking about this Apple thing would be enforced on new games coming onto the iOS platform, but it would be much harder for them to implement this regulation on existing games. I'm kind of hoping Google jumps on this bandwagon as well, because people are really in uproar of loot cases lately, and I hope that, you know, as a good PR move, they're like, oh yeah, we'll do that too. Because as it is right now, if I just had to take a wild guess based on everything that I've opened so far, it's something like 80 to 90% 2-star, maybe like 9 to 19% 3-star, probably closer to 9, and somewhere around that 1% would be the chance for 4 stars. And that would put the premium loot case much less valuable than a 3-star loot case, so the argument that, oh, but they increased, you know, or they let you get premium keys in story mode versus lowering the 3-star keys all across the board, I don't know if that's an even trade, you know what I mean? Also, there's just what are the percentages of getting different amounts of keys within these loot boxes. You know, like I said, when I open event loot cases, I get 25s most of the time. So if ever they do show the percentages of what you can get out of each and every one of the loot cases, then I will calculate which one is the best to go for. But until then, hey, we just gotta hope that one day these rules and regulations will be a thing, and we will get to see what percentages are associated with all of the loot cases. Last thing I want to bring up is regarding the Royal Rumble keys. You know how you get 500 Royal Rumble keys for doing the beginner mode? Well, somebody asked on the official Reddit regarding this, and he got a response from RG Dwyer saying, every week prior to a main pay-per-view we update this loot case. Right now it is the Royal Rumble winners. It will change to the Elimination Chamber the week prior to that. Any pay-per-view keys earned apply to the pay-per-view case. We do plan on rerunning the Royal Rumble event. We are finalizing our schedule for February. Once that is solid, I will send it out. So this basically confirms a few things that I brought up already, that the Royal Rumble event will happen more frequently than we anticipated. It's not going to be once a year. It's going to be like the SummerSlam or whatever the hell it is that they'll just do here and there. As well as this pay-per-view loot case is actually the same as the Royal Rumble loot case. They just rename it now instead of just calling it pay-per-view event loot case. So that's pretty cool. I like that RG Dwyer guy. He's pretty responsive on the Reddit. It's important for video game companies to communicate, and he does that well. But that elimination, that brings an end to this Royal Rumble 2-star event. Let's go ahead and collect our match rewards and proceed. So get our 125 event keys, got our sweet rewards for completing this, bunch of protein shakes, 250 3-star keys, that Royal Rumble loot case, and 60 gold. Put that in my loot. Alright, let's go ahead and open these. So we got 4 event loot cases to open. Let's get those out of the way. Drag that sucker into the vault. Tier 2 showman weight. Don't need it. What's next? Tier 2 high flyer weight. Don't need it. And the last one is going to be, well, that's not the last one, second to the last one, is a Kalisto at Overdrive 21, so it does go over 20. Just so you guys know, if you weren't aware, Overdrive goes beyond level 20. So, this is the last one. Another tier 2 weight. Man, bunch of stuff I don't need. Now for the Royal Rumble loot case, drag that in here. Something good. 3-star. It passed the 3 stars. 2-star Undertaker. Alright, get our 25 3-star keys from that. What's next? 3-star Roman Reigns. That's good. We're working on him right now, so get an overdrive for that. That's dope. And we get keys out of it, so even more dope. And the last is going to be a 3-star loot case, which is going to be John Cena. Nice. So the 2 3-stars we got are on the higher echelon of things, so John Cena could use another overdrive, so now they're all at overdrive level 2, the 3 that I have poised to lead my 3-star roster, as you can see. So John Cena now surpasses Triple H as far as stats go. Let's use our protein shakes on Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Probably enough to get him maxed, if I had to imagine. Is it? Yes, it is. Alright, so use one of these. That puts it a little bit over. Get rid of one of these. Another one. And another. I'll live with going 25 XP over, that's fine.
He's leveled up.
Now he is maxed out. He is going to lead the 2-star events moving forward. And let's use the rest on Roman Reigns. He is the only powerhouse I know of that has the 3 strong attack combo. So now he's at level 24, rank 3.
He's maxed out.
Moving on up in the world. So yeah, that's it as far as roster updates, as well as that is going to be the end of this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like and share this video with whoever you want to share it with. If you're new around here, subscribe to the channel to be notified about all upcoming videos, including more WWE Mayhem videos. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.